painting and what you're very good at so many things that you do, but there's a certain style that you do with this female face. It's like a female form, and like the strokes are just very beautiful and like elegant, and I don't know, they're gorgeous. So the face that you do, did you have like a certain actor or actress or something like that that inspired you, or did you have a muse that you were painting at the time? Like they're not nudes, they're very beautiful and elegant, like pictures, they're gorgeous, but they're very sexy to me, like the full lips, the long eyelashes. It's very very Italian, would you say?
Maybe
Italian.
Well, as far as like the portraits of the faces, that sort of thing, I mean, I started using different models to kind of like get ideas of, you know, maybe the lighting and the proper shadowing and that sort of thing that I wanted to kind of pull off, and see how kind of like three-dimensional I could pull off a face within a shirt or something like that. A piece of clothing, or with that particular style of painting, with the acid etch style of painting, because it does require a lot of contrast. So I kept playing around with using different models and that sort of thing, and then just certain things started to come out from doing that over and over and over. And I like certain aspects of a woman's face, like the fuller lips and the eyelashes and that sort of thing were two things that I thought really kind of like tied in anything that I did as far as like the t-shirts and that sort of thing, because it to me, I just thought that with the acid etch especially, things like eyes and lips were like such a focal point.
It's very distinctive to your style. If you see something that you've created, it very much is that. You can tell, like the lashes and the lips, like it's very something that you create. And you do this live, right? You have different galleries or different events that you perform. I would say perform, because it is kind of a performance. You're there with these huge canvases, and you're just starting from the beginning to the end, and it's like a dance that you do. I've seen you do it, like the way that you're painting their lashes and their lips. It's you do it live.
So that's the interesting thing too, is actually when I use certain things like charcoals and brushwork and airbrush, I kind of mix them all together in a multimedia piece. But live it becomes interesting, because what the charcoal allows me to do is be very free flowing. So if I have a very large canvas, I can almost dance with it. So as I'm moving along and I'm just hitting the canvas and every sort of little motion, so I kind of know the flow of it, and the faces and things like that, and sometimes, you know, women's bodies and that sort of thing, when it becomes like upper torso and a face or whatever, they're very free flowing. It's not, you know.
Are you duplicating something? Like, that's where I'm going. Like, is there a certain face that you're like kind of styling it after, or do you like just come up with things on the fly? Like, I'm gonna do a bigger nose, a bigger eye, a bigger. Is it like kind of like that?
Well, I have a particular face that I use that has been sort of, like I said when we're talking about my perfect, I suppose, idea of a face had been sculpted over time. So it may have been like numerous models, but then over time it just sort of everything that I liked about that ended up making its way into this sort of ideal.
They're beautiful. I can't wait to show you guys one of these. Two of these actually, they're gorgeous. They're so beautiful. Some of our crew are wearing some of his shirts today. That we'll be showing you in a bit. They're amazing. They're beautiful. So.
But I want to just touch a little more on that, because the interesting part about doing this, and when I'm doing this live, is like, okay, I'm starting off with charcoal, but then I'm bringing in brush. So the nice flow of the brush. Sometimes you see those brush strokes underneath, but then over top of that comes the airbrush in areas that I want to smooth out or create some kind of a cool abstract effect by using like a template or something like that. But so it shows all these different layers, and what you get is sometimes the airbrush will go over some brush stroke. You'll see a ghosted in brush stroke over top or underneath the airbrush. Sometimes you'll see the charcoal peak underneath, and that might create something interesting. So there's these different things that I never really like to stick to one particular style too much, because I wanted to explore all these mediums and try to create something new on my own.
I saw one that you made for Questlove, which is beautiful. And it's a little bit of like the charcoals and like the airbrush kind of, right? Paint. It's beautiful. It's just a gorgeous picture.
Thank you.
He probably has it on his wall. So. It's really cool. It really is. So, some of the murals that you've created, we talked about in Toronto, where you've worked. Have you done any murals in America yet? be coming to America soon?
Gosh, I don't think I've gotten anything.
Got to get you out of Canada and then get you get over here.
I mean, there's a lot of talk of some murals coming. Something possibly in Miami, but Atlanta, they're actually one of the Fine Art Auction TV show that I'm doing some
Fine Art Auction.
Doing some work for.
Yes.
They're scheduling some spaces for some walls in Atlanta.
Nice.
I mean, I've been to many parts of. I actually had, I guess, Dominican. I've done some work in Dominican, mural work in Dominican. Yeah, so some very interesting
the murals
stuff
in America
there.
coming, please.
And but from there, I definitely have had a chance to travel to Europe, and I did about a 3-month tour in about 4 or 5 cities, doing murals in Spain.
I bet that was cool.
Oh, amazing! Just learning about all the different types of like.
It's on my bucket list of places to go.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's beauty.
Did you paint models there?
Not really. No, not so much. It was more just me kind of like creating murals for either a business or I almost did a very, very huge mural that kind of fell through because of COVID, but
a lot of things fell through for people during COVID.
But anyways, it was mostly just like businesses and things like that. But
cool.
But it did allow me to visit like all the beautiful museums and churches and things like that that had all this beautiful architecture and things like that I would see in books and that
you've
sort of
been
thing.
inspired by.
Very, and it's so you go there, you get re-inspired. For me, from my childhood, about all this kind of stuff that I used to look at.
Sure. So are there places that are on your bucket list to go and paint murals? If you had like a specific, beautiful, amazing place you wanted to travel to and be like inspired by, you've already said Spain, but are there places that you're like, I really would like to have a mural here? One here.
I would love to do something in Italy. I'd love to go to, do something in Paris. I would love to, most of those beautiful cities in Europe, like maybe even the Czech Republic, there's so many lovely areas there. I've been to these cities and I've done sketches and things like that, but I've never had a chance to do like a massive piece of artwork that I normally do.
You manifest it.
I am trying to manifest that.
I'm sure that you will.
Did you know that many artists started by sketching and painting still life? Like apples and oranges and bananas. And when they come to fairyland, they sketch pixie berries. I actually make pixie berry juice, and it's quite delicious. When you drink it, it aligns all your chakras and doubles as a force field to help keep all the bullshit away.
Well, hello there. I didn't know you were watching. My name's Shane Goudreau. I'm coming to you from Toronto, Canada, and I have something to say. Nobody puts baby.
Hey, beautiful people, come follow me, like me, and leave me a comment on Baby's CriB. What do you think the difference is between someone doing like graffiti art, like on a train or a building or whatever, and just doing whatever, as opposed to someone that's actually like commissioned and doing this? You do this, this is your job. Every day, you paint. When you wake up, you paint. You have like a customer, a client, whatever, someone that's commissioned you to do this. So it's a real job for you. It's not just like a hobby.
Yeah.
This is something that you're doing.
Well, this is my life. I mean, ever since I started doing it professionally 20 years ago, I drew occasionally before that, but then it just became every day, and I can't think of more than a week or two that's gone by since then in 20 years that I haven't done anything artistically. So I'm either drawing or creating something every day. So
yeah, it's awesome. You have a schedule.
Yeah, I do have a schedule.
Give yourself like a set.
Yeah.
Every day.
Because there's just so many things. I mean, because I've decided to do all these different mediums, and because I've decided, maybe airbrush cars, motorcycles, but then I might do an acrylic painting or an oil painting. Then I might do a mural, but then I might work on some clothing and things like that. There's so many things and so many commissioned pieces in different areas that I get, that if I don't stay on top of it by having a particular schedule,
you're professional.
Then I mean that's basically it, right? If
you're not
just
living it like a rock star. You're taking it as a serious job, like
as a serious job.
Certain amount of sleep, right? Certain amount of food. Right. Right.
No, absolutely. And
how do you manage family and like girlfriends and all this stuff?
Well, I mean, you basically have to be. It's important, and obviously, to have a schedule with that too, because. Obviously you got to put food on the table, pay your bills, all this kind of stuff. But the most important thing being family and relationships and everything. I mean, you have to have a schedule for everything, because if you don't, then sometimes one thing suffers or whatever, right? So, it's very important to.
And then maybe you don't get called back.
Exactly.
Do art. That's great. Well, tell me a little bit about your graffiti buddies. Tell me a little bit about this. Like, it's a different style than the acid edge stuff. Like the stuff that I've seen some of your murals, like in Toronto, like you've painted, and you call them your graffiti buddies. They're part of like your brand, would you say? Like
well, it's one style I started working with a couple of years ago, and it was just really kind of like I was given a very large mural to do, and I was allowed to be very, very free with it. And they wanted something a bit psychedelic and playful and whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, I kind of have this idea in the back of my head, but I'm just going to work it out through the wall. So I just started to do like slight sketches and then just kind of work on the wall and see how that kind of comes together. And I usually use this process where sometimes if I don't
process.
Yeah, there is a process.
Who uses a process.
There is a process to it.
During the process.
But so sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually I'll sit and stare at the wall for a while, and I'll get a little bit into a meditative state, and sometimes things start to kind of jump out at me. After you do this for so long, imagery. I don't even need that. I don't know.
I don't. Shit starts moving on the walls and it just materializes.
No, some people do. I don't. Yeah, okay. I get into a meditative state, and sometimes images start to jump out at me, and as I watch it come together, I start to lightly sketch in just on the wall itself, not even on a sketch pad. On the wall itself, because there's a certain shape to some walls, and I fill in slowly, bit by bit by bit.
Nice.
Everything tends to come together, and then I'll start to paint in and whatever. But that sometimes is a process that I use, which is a little more akin to what Michelangelo did when he was creating some of his sculptures. Actually, he used to say that he sees the images within the marble, and he just releases it. And sometimes I see images within the wall, and I release them.
It's already there.
It's already there, and I just find it kind of a way to release it.
Now that is definitely being like a vessel.
Yeah,
from a higher power. Don't you think?
It has to be, because it's just I don't know where it comes through sometimes. Yeah, I have no idea. It's really strange.
The things that you create are beautiful and positive and great to me. So it's cool.
Thank you.
I mean, art is subjective, but like what you do is it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
To me, you're like one of the greats, and I say this a lot of times with people I interview, but that's why I'm having people like you on here, because you're amazing. What you create is completely it's original. It's beautiful. I mean, to duplicate this, maybe AI. We could talk about that. Maybe AI could do it, but it's not.
Oh, that's a scary thing.
It's not really. Well, what do you think about this, AI?
Well, AI, I don't know enough about right now, but I will say a few things. Is that from what I've heard about, it's actually stealing a lot of images from other artists. So thousands upon thousands of images are being stolen online, and they'll be putting into this program that kind of regenerates them into something else. But the thing is, AI wouldn't be anything without original artwork from other artists. So it's stealing, all these images and doing all these terrible kind of awful things like recreating voices, and sometimes when it comes to
You're not a fan.
No, I'm not. But I mean, I'm sure that
sip because
it's here to stay or whatever, and I'm sure there's always
maybe I'm
positive.
AI. Maybe I'm not.
But there's always
Shane Goudreau. Tell me about all the female models that you have painted. Were they girls that you had sex with?
They were AI. No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I've had this conversation with several different artists in different areas and different fields that some are like, I'm better than that, and some are like, this is really fucked up, because what are we gonna do with this? But we are here. It is happening.
Yeah, I just think there needs to be some sort of regulation. It is here to stay and whatever, but as long as it's regulated in a certain way, I mean, things like I mentioned to you earlier, child pornography and things like that, stealing kids' faces off the internet and putting them on whatever, mixed matching and doing this awful, awful stuff, and like taking people's voices and reusing them to use to scam people online or on the phone or whatever.
And these could be like even people that aren't necessarily gullible, just lonely people that are thinking it's real.
Anything.
It's crazy.
Anything.
Fuck you, AI. Fuck you.
But
artificial intelligence, which is like a Steven Spielberg film, is one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before. It's so great. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite films.
Yeah.
But, prophecy.
Yeah.
Maybe he was like, you can make up children.
Well, look, I mean, artists we've been around for thousands of years. People have been, drawing on walls. Like cavemen has been drawing on walls, since the beginning of time, and we've evolved from that to, obviously to frescoes and canvases and digital art and just everything. And like I was even discussing this a little bit earlier, just how artists basically create everything around you. You see everything's designed by an artist or built by an artist or sculpted or, the designs for your house or, anything. An artist has his or her hand in anything that you can imagine. So, I mean, we've learned to adapt, like I said, for photography and all that sort of thing. It's just a matter of adapting, but we have to be careful about certain things.
Yeah,
so.
I'm with you. Well, let's talk about something really cool that happened to you recently, which was you were in New York City and it's the 50th year anniversary of hip hop, right?
That's right, yeah.
Right, which is super dope.
Yeah.
Maybe music has influenced you a little bit within your styles.
Absolutely.
I'm feeling this vibe from you all the way, your shoes and your clothes and all this. But you painted something for Melle, correct?
Yeah, so I did something. So basically what happened was, and it's very interesting, ever since we did the thing for Questlove, excuse me, the thing with that and the beauty of all of that happening at the same time was it's being the 50th anniversary of hip hop. That would be the first month. That would have been January. We did that, I think, something like that. We actually had a chance to meet him, and I didn't even know at the time he was actually working on the Grammys.
You're talking about Questlove.
I didn't know he was working on this whole Grammys thing. So. The fact that we met him...
When you think of hip-hop, think of someone like Amir or Questlove. Yeah.
So the fact that he was setting this all up at that particular time, and it was about that time that someone reached out to me to do something for Coke La Rock, which is the first MC of hip-hop.
Yeah.
So I did a painting for Coke La Rock, and we unveiled it about a few weeks later. And then all of a sudden, an opportunity came to do a painting for Grandmaster Melle. Grandmaster Melle, if they don't know, it's the Melle, the Furious Five, Grandmaster Flash. I mean, they were the first, I would say, like the originators, the rock stars of, first rock stars of hip hop, that sort of thing, because they actually got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the first ones. So they got a really,
dope,
just an amazing recognition.
We'll have to show these images
for that.
later, like what you created for them, because they're really dope. They are. I've seen them. It's kind of that graffiti style, but it's also airbrush, like little, like.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I used his lyrics in the background, and I did a little kind of like graffiti style, and used like a picture of him that actually was of him in the Grammys actually. So when he performed at the Grammys this year, I wanted to use one of his photos for that as well. So it's to pay tribute to hip hop and its earlier artists and that sort of thing.
Nice. Maybe you have to show us a little dance later.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's awesome, man. Like everything that you just said is beautiful. We'll have to like show some of your clothing, some of these articles up a little bit closer, like what you do, some of the shirts and whatnot. And I guess just anybody that wants to follow Shane, it's at Goud Created. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's Goud and then created.
Oh, Good Created. You had the good. You had the good. You had the good. The good of the creation. Oh, yes, you are. When is the last time you've sketched a model?
It's been quite some time. Would you like to try?
Would you like to try? That's the question. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. All right, great. I'll be right back.
Where are you going?
Next on Baby's Crib.
Uh-huh.